my friend. Tell you what, we got a great show for you. Members, once you start showing up, we didn't pre-flight, but we got something in store for you today. Great topics. It's Sunday. God bless you all. Welcome. Here we go. Oh, shoot. I'm going to pull you up on my screen, and then we're going to get busy. Great topics today. I'm on it. Yeah? All right, here we go. I haven't talked about it enough, but the AR behind me, the M4 behind me, I want to mention it every single time. If you've noticed, I've been sitting here instead of the other spot. I keep telling myself I'm going to go back and forth, switch it up weekly, but I'm in love with that AR, ancmetalworks.com. Let me just tell you right off the bat, lay cookie with ancmetalworks.com made that. All right, here we go. Is that Jake awesome? Let me see. Let me get it. I got it. I'm doing it. Welcome, everybody. It's Sunday. God bless you. If you haven't spent time with Jesus today, make sure you do. Great message today I'm going to share with you shortly. And, all right. Oh, there it is. I got it. What? I got it. Sometimes it's a little finicky. Here we go. Jake Awesome. David Bryant. Loud and clear. Thanks, Dave. Good evening, Sergeant Major Producer, members, and guests. OG Street Racers here. What up? Cece Semper Fi, brother. Semper Fi, all of you. Saw this older gentleman, his grandson was shopping with him, and this dude was, I don't know how old, he's in a wheelchair. Was it a wheelchair or a scooter? So, Marine shirt, Marine hat, just seeing the grandson taking care of him was really cool. Marine. I don't think the grandson was a Marine, but Pops definitely was. Give him a little Mike 1345 is here, raw. Sandu, Lay Cookie, just talking about the M4 behind me. Love it. Good evening, Sergeant Major and crew and all the SFMF members and visitors. Heavy J's here. We are Lima Charlie, audio and visual. And I'm Oscar Mike. Where you going? Oscar Mike, like you're on the move? You out of here? Olin Jr.'s here. Jordan Hammond. Hi, SFMF. I want you to know that I'm rooting for duty, and it's always great to see you, my friend. Great to see you as well, as always. Was you in the Army? Look at John. Was you in the Army? Did you ever K anyone? I want to know the feeling. Can't wait. John, hang out for a little bit, buddy. Read the room, and we'll address that later. All right, welcome everybody. It's Sunday, SFMF Live. Had the honor and privilege of running to a fellow Marine from way back from Afghanistan days. It was awesome. I hadn't seen him in 25 years. I don't even want to do the math. 10 years, 15 years. It's been a while. Young, motivated lieutenant. He was the adj. And it was awesome catching up real quick and seeing where life has taken him. Awesome. He's doing awesome. So happy for him. So proud of him. And we'll be talking about him shortly. I'm going to get him on the show because he's total success story. All right. All love, John. Again, hang out for a little bit. We're just getting rolling right now. We're getting rolling. And it's a good time here. It's a good time at SFMF Live. And I was wearing my other shirt, the new shirt on the website, sfmfmerch.myshopify.com, with the cross and the SFMF. And this gentleman, another Marine, motivated in the gym at 4:30 in the morning, he said, that doesn't mean Semper Fi. I said, let me tell you what it means. Semper Fi, my friend. Kind of went back and forth. He subbed. Hopefully he's here tonight tonight as well. Great running into him, meeting him. Again, a fellow Marine who recognizes the right off the bat, who also knew the lieutenant that I was talking to. soon to be Lieutenant Colonel BT Dub. That's how much he's killing it. But it's great. I already started out the day great with my interaction with the MPs this morning. I got a random vehicle check, and that was interesting. I want to talk about that because shout out to MPs. Not another thankless job in the Marine Corps. But it's good. We'll talk about that. Jared is here. So glad y'all could see me. We are so happy to see you, Jared. Even David Bryant, see? Heavy J, we have a representative from every branch, former and current enlisted officer, but we were short a Space Force Guardian. Still, are they really out there? Are the Guardians out there? Is that still a thing? Still got a Space Force going on? We need some Guardians on the show. We've got some questions about the Space Force. John, I hear you, brother. That's why I hang out and you'll see what we talk about here. There's Doc. What's up, Doc? Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. We didn't pre-flight. If the members, you didn't miss a pre-flight. We didn't pre-flight today on purpose, right? It wasn't just how we were getting started. We purposely waited till the top of the hour. So when Carl gets here, let him know that we started at the top of the hour. And we're going to continue to go Gen Pop. So good to see everybody. You are special, Jared. We realized that a long time ago. And it's good to see you here. Coming close to the 1 year mark. We're waiting to see that badge, that eagle, globe, and anchor change colors. The producer seems to think we shared the 1 year color with you. I don't think we did. We're going to find out here on the 20-something. 20th? We'll see. Federal Agent ICE, are you a real person? That's the real question. Bulldog is here. Good evening to all. Bulldog, welcome from Doc. Doc is blue because Doc is a hammer. I know it's a wrench, but he's a hammer. Good to see you all and welcome. Anonymous is here. By Federal Agent. We shall see. Anonymous, great to see y'all. I have been missing on a few details with demons and... Oh, we need to read that, Anonymous. I've been missing on a few dealing with demons and pains. Always a great time to have comrades that I can trust. It's just my wife and I. Good to see you, Anonymous, and glad you're here, and that's why we're here as well. Just talking to someone in church this morning about it. He asked about the channel. He said, what do y'all talk about? I said, well, everything. And that could be one at dark times. So, Anonymous, you know the deal. Anyone, hit us up on our email. Hit us up on our email if you need to talk. That's why we're here. Rather listen to your story than hear your eulogy. Remember that. All right. Randall Knapp is here. What's up, Randy? How you guys feeling? You and Ellie kick that cold that you had? Theodore is here. Doc is a hammer. Semper Fi. James Wisniewski. You go by Ski? Bruh. What's happening, Jared? What's up, Mike? Hello, everybody. Hey, Jared. All right. All right, so welcome. In church. The theme? What's it called? Not the theme. Yeah. It's a theme? Series. The series now in church, closing out 2005, starting 2026, 2005, 25 and starting 26 is Find Your Way. Find Your Way. And he started it by saying kind of two types of people. Those are the planners and those are, he didn't say doers. What did he call the other? Dreamers. The planners and the dreamers. Planner plans it out. You got to start with the foundation. You got to start with the base camp, right? If you're going to go purchase something big, if you're going to build something, that's really what he was talking about. If you're going to build, you got to plan. Because, I mean, you got to know where the foundation that you're building on. You got to build a foundation. You got to plan it time-wise and money-wise, or you're going to run out of money. You're going to run out of time. You're going to run out of assets. Whatever it is, those are the planners. And then the dreamers they have a thought in their mind, I want to build this tower. I'm going to just go and start building and kind of make it happen along the way. I'm not saying one was better than the other. Those are two types of people. Told stories that he was fishing one time. He started fishing. They didn't know what they were doing. They had the wrong gear. So he just jumped out of the boat, went and sat on the shore and was going to figure it out. Problem was where he sat on the shore was in a rattlesnake nest. So that would have been better had he planned it and checked the foundation, checked the footing before you step onto it. Things like that. We're going to discuss that, the plan before the journey. And the whole idea, the concept is 2026. Let's plan 2026 for the journey. You can have those dreams along the way and those spontaneous, I'm going to go for a hike. I'm going to go for a run, right? Driving through the neighborhood, a lot more people running, a lot more people walking. It seems like the plan part of your journey needs to be the commitment to stick to it, the New Year's resolution stuff. So great message in church. And it always is. I say it every single time, but I think it is a great message every single time. Trust. Right? Part of your plan is waking up to your plan every day with Jesus first. That's a good foundation right there. All right, Randall Knapp says, him and the wife are feeling better. Good, much better. Corporal Ski, Wisniewski, how do you think I knew that? Lay Cookie, living the dream. You know he is. Lay Cook, killing it. Kelly, the OG, my son isn't doing well. Come on. My son isn't doing well. He got injured, everybody. He earned 9 more weeks in medical. Learned 9 more weeks in medical. Says he's done and wants to come home. Yo, please pray for him. Man, Kelly, the OG. Everyone, please. Prayer works. Pray for Kelly's son. He got injured in boot camp. He's at MRP, medical rehab platoon. Not easy. Not easy. You don't want to spend a day more than 13 weeks in boot camp. And he's already on his second time in MRP. He learned 9 more weeks in medical. So he just learned that he's got to do 9 more weeks in medical. Says he's done and wants to come home. Man. I wish Goldman was still around and still on here. Maybe we'll try and look him up. He's the one that did 11 months, over 11 months at recruit training.
Yeah, maybe like have him pull a Goldman, tell him get in there.
Yeah, so Kelly, I don't know if you remember the story or not, but I had a recruit when I was a drill instructor. He came to me in my final cycle. I think it was my last cycle. We get him. He had been at MCRD for like 10 and a half months. I was like, oh, this kid is good to go. He's solid. He knows everything. Couple injuries. I think maybe the first time he was overweight, PCP, then MRP. And anyway, I got him at like 10 months and some change. So by the time he graduated, he was on MCRD for over 11 months. It was like a miracle that I was finally the one able to graduate him. I had nothing to do with it. It was his motivation, his just wasn't going to quit or give up kind of attitude. And by the way, he graduated boot camp a Lance Corporal, time and grade, time and service. So don't wish that on your son to be down there 11 months. But point is, can do it. Goldman graduated. He was a Marine. He did well as a Marine. Didn't hold him back from doing anything. He just is the grand old man of MCRD. So he can stay. I don't know what you could tell him. Let him know that our whole channel, the whole SFMF crew and community is behind him. He can do it. I mean, just get better. I don't think he can take like college classes or anything, but he can read. Who knows? I don't know what the process of MRP is now, the freedom that they have, but I'm guessing with today's technology, and if you're talking to him, study, do physical activity, the stuff he can do. Man. Yeah. Kelly, is there anything we can do? All right, how does that work? Are you allowed to visit him? How much do you get to talk to him? We'll definitely pray for him. Is he going to church? All right, he's got time. All right. Kelly, let us know. And we're praying for you and him, the whole family. All right. I see some cold weather all over. I think a cold front swept through or sweeping through the United States right now. 20s. This is Mikey Smithers. South Carolina in the 20s. Arizona with Lake Cookie, 33. 26. David Bryant in Texas. Wow. 31 in southern Arizona. Crazy weather. I like different seasons, but I like the summer. Jared, I'd rather be in PCP than be dropped completely from boot camp. Right there, Kelly, the OG. Remind your son of that. That's straight from Motivator. Jared, PCP or whatever they call it now can be a very positive thing, right? He's got to find the best. 11 months, he should have graduated Lance Corporal. Anonymous, he did. He graduated at Lance Corporal, time and grade, time and service, because he was already a meritorious PFC. Goldman, he did. It was cool. It was kind of cool. I'm telling you, it was a big deal. He had, at that time, the one and only recruit had been there the longest. Like he had the history of being in recruit training the longest. Good dude. He was a good dude. Glad he stuck with it. Happy New Year to you. Streamline Dub. It's time to double tap. That's an order from David Bryant. You better listen. David Bryant telling everyone double tap right now. All right. John McJunkin and crew is here. What's up, John? Good to see you. Blessed Sunday evening, Sergeant Major, Madam Producer, Sergeant Cece, Cadet Cece, Kimi, Cocoa Puffs. She's here. She's in the house. Annie Ben Annie, Cece family, SFMF family, Lance Corporal, Lake Cook, Doc, David Bryant, and everyone else. Good list. That was a roll call right there. John McJunkin and crew. 40 in Boise, Idaho, with the Knapp family. But they say February will be old-fashioned cold for us. Cold weather in Northern Ireland from the USA too. Good show. Thanks, Jonathan. RPU. Kelly. This from Kelly, everyone. Please pray for Kelly and her son. I know he can do it. We get to talk every couple of weeks with someone there would encourage him, wish someone there would encourage him to help make it through. So as hardcore as drill instructors are, they're still human beings. They're dads, they're sons, they're brothers and daughters, and they're human also. I know it's hard to believe, and it's hard to even think of them as human. And your son won't for a while, but they do laugh and smile and cry and joke, and they're God-fearing. They're all those things. So they are encouraging him, I'm pretty sure, just in a drill instructor way. And that's hard to imagine, but I guarantee you they don't want him to quit. They don't want him to quit. They don't want him to give up. Just, again, a good compliment from a drill instructor would be like, oh, you're not as nasty today as you were yesterday. That's a huge compliment. So hard to understand, but they're encouraging him. The chaplain definitely would. So if he's not going to church, order him, Mom, to go to church. Stoner Bob is here. Good to see you, brother. Don't be a cheap Marine. Bob, good to see you. Lance Corporal Twerk checking in. Good to see you. What is this about, says Fighterman X. Hang out for a little bit, brother. We're talking life into each other, talking about church, our church services, and we got some cool topics to talk about this evening. Ooh, Mark Hankins. What? Says, Kelly, record this video for your son. What? What happened?
What did you say?
Oh, I don't know. Another one. Hey, Kelly. Tell your devil pup that us devil dogs are cheering for him. 100%, Kelly. I hope you already are, but remind him that we're behind him. from anonymous to vitamin. This is a group to talk about whatever you want to talk about, military to daily life issues. 100% anonymous. Nailed it. From John McJunkin's crew, prayers for Kelly's son. I meant to tell your devil pup. Talk to the senior drill instructor. I just say, Daddy, Daddy, I have a problem. Kelly, for real, we're here for you. All right, from the producer, support veteran owned. Check out this amazing artwork, ancmetalworks.com. That's that M4 behind me, AR-15, AR, whatever you call it, that looks just like my M4 from my last couple deployments. I absolutely love that piece of artwork. I swear we'll go on the other side of the studio later. If you watch the video with Lay Cook, the artist who makes those, behind him is some more artwork that he makes. And go to the website and check it out. Just some amazing stuff. There's two other things, but they're in other rooms. Go with God. That one's right above the studio. Amazing work, Lay Cooking. And we support veteran owned 100%. If you mention SFMF, you get a 10% discount. Which brings me to our merch shop. If you haven't already, go to the merch store. The producer has worked on it. It looks amazing with some new merch on there. 2 new shirts laid out better. The deal that's still going on. And we have the merch store because we don't have sponsors. We don't do the sponsorship. Merch store. The merch store is what helps us get these lights that we got recently so you can see my face. The microphones, the microphone doohickey that makes the sound better so it doesn't sound like I'm in a tin can. So that's what the merch store is for. So if you could visit the merch store, the deal is going on. The specials are still up there. She hasn't taken them down, so you better get after it. 2 shirts for $26 for 2026. 2 shirts to include the 2 new ones. And all those designs can go on hoodies as well. Stickers are still on sale. BOGO. Buy one, get one free. Check out the merch store. If the producer could put it up, sfmfmerch.myshopify.com. It's also in the details if you go to the channel. In the link on the details in the channel. All right. Good to see everybody.
Santa Maria said, hey.
Santa Maria is here. What's up, Santa Maria? Good to see you. Are you back to school yet? Hello from Afghanistan. Hello, Afghanistan. Good evening, team. Mike, 300 Smith. Good evening, team. SFMF legal representative from, where'd that go? From suburban Detroit, 4422. Good to see you, legal rep. Might need you sometime soon, so thanks for being here. Oh, that's you, user. Who's that picture of? I can't see it from here. That's not you, Santa Maria, is that? Russ Army Cece Santa Maria from Minnesota, MN? Where are you going to school now? Oh, from MMA. Maybe meant to put that. All right. Jared, I totally forgot to go check out the new merch store. So give us 22 burpees and then go check out the merch store. You got to check it out. It is. I keep going on it just to look at it. It looks really good. Man, I wanted to read that. The troll, but I'll let it go. Detroit Rock City. What you know about Detroit Rock City? What you know about KISS, Jared? I would say you're too young for that, but we know you're old. Link is not in blue letters. It can't work.
Is that true? Can we test it?
Is that true?
No, it is true. What?
You can't hit the link? Huh?
What link?
The link that the producer just put up. Can you hit the link while we're live?
No.
Oh, maybe that's why. What if you copy and paste it? Or just in the channel description? No, I don't know. All right, let me leave that to y'all. Love from Ireland. Good to see you, Ireland. Emmanuel, Godson. A cool name, Godson. All right. I'm old. Jared, you are old. Huge Kiss fan. How about now? She's put it up again. Anthony, Baidu, I want to join the USA military. Interesting. Something I just learned. I didn't know. Sale is still happening. Is it up? Somebody let me know when it works. Anthony, I want to join the USA military, the U.S. military. So something I recently, and this was from an old cadet of mine. Good luck to him. I hope it works out for him. But what I've known as later on in my career as a first sergeant and sergeant major, even probably as a company gunny platoon sergeant, every now and then Marines would go to their immigration appointments to get citizenship after they've been in a few years. It happened often, all the time. All the time. I thought, how great is that? They can enlist in the Marine Corps, not a full citizen, and later on in their career, the military helps them get their citizenship. So that's what I was advising this young cadet who's a motivator. He would be an awesome Marine. But he went and talked to his recruiter, and the recruiter told him he could not. You can't join unless you're a citizen already. I was like, no, that's not how it works. You can, and you get it later type of thing. Come to find out, during the Obama administration, they stopped that. So now you have to become a citizen prior to enlisting. I didn't know that. Where's guns? Where's our active duty at? Is that? I mean, I know it's true because that's what this young man found out, that you have to be a citizen first. So interesting. All right. M4s are much better than AK-47, to be honest. Yeah, no need to lie about that. That's a fact. What the AK-47s can do, that maybe more American-made weapons can't. An AK-47, you can drag it through the mud, in the ocean, in the snow, back in the mud, bang it against a wall, and it'll probably still fire. They're not very accurate, but they're pretty reliable because of that. How they're built, they're pretty prehistoric, if you will. So they'll fire. You don't have to clean them as much, and they'll eventually they'll crap out and they won't fire at all. But they're not nearly as accurate. So yeah, M4s are much better than AKs. 75, Stoner Bob, 75 was a good time to join. All right. All right, we had a South Korean in boot camp. Jared, you know what I mean? I'm telling you, it was very common. Why they stopped that 15 years ago, beyond me. All right. Cosmic Egghead, you have to swear an oath to the U.S. Constitution before joining our military these days. That hasn't changed. That's how it always been. You swear in twice before you go, and even on reenlistment and promotions. Every now and then, commanders would like you to recite the oath at your promotions. I like those. That's good. John McJunkin, Dep Poolee Kwan asks, just got my MEP results back. All good, but not sure if I should take a career field they're offering or choose my own. Don't want the recruiter to be upset with me. This is your career, brother. Good on you, and that you're just a good human being. If you don't want to upset your recruiter, they work hard, but they're doing a job, right? And his job or her job is to enlist, get you enlisted, get you in, do all the work behind the scenes, and they bust their butt. Shout out to recruiters. But it's your life and your career. So don't worry about his or her feelings at all. This is something that you're going to live with the rest of your life. And ideally, I talked about it last week, building that community. You want to be in a community that you want to be in, right? You want to love going to work every day. So he's not going to be there when you go to work every day after boot camp. So you choose what you want to do. And he'll understand. He's a Marine. He gets it. You just, to get your job, you may have to wait a little longer. You might not get the school seat. There might be reasons why. Well, I'll tell you the way. He has an opening. Whatever job he's offering you is because he has an opening. He needs to fill it. That's a fact. Nothing shady about that. He's got numbers, needs of the Corps. So you choose what you want to do. I can't stress that enough. I tell my own kids that. Choose what you want to be. All right, Stoner Bob, you're going to have to go in later, brother. In the details, the channel details, you can click it there. I promise you can. I've done that. She's working it. All right. Feelings are irrelevant. David Bryant, in our day, we just wanted to be a Marine. I tell you about that Marine I worked with for a long time. That's what he would, when cadets would ask him, sir, what should I be in the Marine Corps? Very adamantly, he said, you joined the Marine Corps to be a Marine, period. Job is secondary. Got it. All right. Randall Knapp, just now. Yes, non-citizens can join the U.S. military, but they must be lawful permanent residents, green card holders, living in the USA, fluent in English, and meet all physical, mental, and something else standards. It'll pop up here in a minute. So this particular gentleman was his parents are on a business visa, and his is going to switch over to a school visa. So you're right, Randall, that's what he said. It has to be a permanent resident green card. Moral, to finish off Randall's statement. Yes, facts. Gunnery Sergeant, USMC retired. Hoorah, jarheads. Happy New Year's to all. We got a Navy warrant in the house. Hammerhead, the bassist. Navy warrant here, 22 years of service and still going strong. You put string, but you meant strong. Shipmate and a warrant officer. They call you Mr., right? Mr. Hammerhead, the bassist. Good to see you, shipmate. Thanks for being here. Some people don't believe warrant officers are real. There you go. We have a couple on here. We got a Chief Warrant Officer 5 waiting for him to show up. All right. Here we go. We're going to hit John McJunkins, and then we're going to go into topics. Kevin O'Brien says, what's your favorite American car? Trucks. Trucks. Almost any truck. Not a car guy. There's this car that rolled into church this morning. I don't know if you guys saw it. I don't know what it was. The whole car was like this high, and a big dude got out of it, and it took him about 15 minutes to get out. It looked tough, and it was probably fast. Probably can go 800 miles an hour, all blacked out. Again, it took him about 10 minutes to park and about 10 minutes to get out of it. And I just don't see the point. I don't see the point in all that. So my favorite car is a truck. Chevy is what I'm driving now. It's got some issues. Got some issues with that.
How much time we got?
All right, John McJunkin. Poolee Flores says, attended my first Poolee function. Congratulations. Keep going. I thought I was going to die. These instructors are no joke. Nothing impossible, just too much to do all at once, nonstop. And welcome to the Corps. Can you imagine? Again, shout out to the recruiters, because one, they're doing everything involved in getting you enlisted, that 40-page document that they have to figure out to get you enlisted. But then they're still taking the time to train you and prep you physically and mentally for boot camp. So good on you for going. Don't quit or give up. Don't use that as a reason not to go. Don't make excuses not to go because they wore you out. Pretty soon you'll be going and asking them for more. So get after it. Good on you recruiters for putting those on. Some are probably better than others at it, but keep going. Keep going, keep going. Don't let that be a reason. All right. Cosmic, yeah, that's the whole point. A green card is good to join. A green card is, but not a visa. All right. Det Poolee Taylor asks, what happens once we're done with SOI, School of Infantry? So you go to School of Infantry if you're an infantryman, or you go to MCT, Marine Combat Training, if you're non-infantry. But that's it for you go to boot camp, School of Infantry, and then your MOS school. So Taylor, whatever MOS you chose, if it's not infantry, then you're going to go to your MOS school. If you're infantry, you're going to stay at MOS and do your combat training there. If you're Motor T, then you go to Motor T school. Say again. Oh, okay. All right. Super smart to be a Poolee first. Randall Knapp, I'm telling you. I went to a couple meetings I didn't go to enough. Gunner Sergeant, USMC. Here we go. Silverado. He's got a Silverado, everyone. 2012 work truck, 60,000 miles, highly detailed, excellent condition. 60,000 miles. That's it? Is that because it's your work truck? I got a 19 and it's got 200 or 110,000 miles and a rebuilt engine now.
How far does he go to work?
Long story. Yeah, that's 60,000 miles.
That's nothing.
Is that a rebuilt engine or is your work a block away? That's awesome. I do. I love the Silverado. I love the look. I love the shape. I'm comfortable in it. I like the size of it. It's 4x. It's a long bed. It's everything I want in a truck, but I have had some. 2019 apparently was a bad year. So I put too much money into it, but I'm keeping that baby forever now. It's almost worth double, or I've almost paid double. Close. All right.
Keep it forever. Keep it solid.
We'll see. Worst thing about boot camp basics, asks the weight is experience. Worst thing about boot camp basic. Marine Corps boot camp, what's the worst thing? I think everybody's worst thing is different. I'll tell you mine in the beginning was, strangely enough, getting up early. It really was. Reveille was, I hated Reveille. And I'm sure I'm not alone, but funny because now, decades later, I can't sleep past 4 a.m. So I love getting up early now. Imagine how that works. But that was by far the worst. All the specific things, you have good days, you have bad days. But I think as a recruit, that was my least favorite, was getting up early. Maybe it's because it was drill instructors yelling at me and throwing the trash can down the hall, and it wasn't a pleasant, just the lights come on and hey, time to get up. It's horrible. Other than that, it's a good time. All right. Jared says, just remember 1% of boot camp is surviving the omelet MRE. It's omelet with ham. First of all, don't forget about the ham. Don't cut out the ham. That's the best part of it. Lay Cookie says, I wish my recruiter would have involved me in the Poolee before I went in. First day of boot camp might not have been so shocking. Even so, Lay Cook, I hear you. But even so, even if he would have told you all that stuff, because I believe my recruiter did, and I went to a couple Poolee functions, I was still in shock. It's a culture shock no matter what. And yeah, did they have Poolee functions when you came in the 60s, Lay Cookie? He's older than me, right? All right. Worst thing for me, says Jared. Honestly, the week of receiving. Getting used to people yelling at me all the time about everything. Receiving sucks. Receiving, just so people that don't know, receiving is the first 3 or 4 days, depending on when you arrive in MCRD. Receiving week, typically 3 days. Say you get there on a Monday. We'll say you get there on Tuesday. You're immediately scooped up at the airport, the bus station, wherever you come in from, or if you took a cab or an Uber in. Once receiving gets you, that's the culture shock. That's when it starts right there. Because all of a sudden, everyone's in a hurry and you're not moving fast enough. You're not sounding off loud enough, and say it again. And receiving is calm now. Back in the day, it was like, oh my, you got to be, where's the gate? Where's the fence? Because I'm getting out of here. Receiving is a lot calmer now than it was. Talk to some of the old timers on here. But it's still a culture shock. You're like sheep, herding sheep, just going one place to the other, and your platoon's getting bigger and bigger. More new guys are coming in. You're getting a haircut. You're getting all this uniform, your inventory stuff. You're going from one place to the other, to medical, to dental. You're getting poked and stabbed and prodded in one place to another. You're not sleeping. You're moseying to the chow hall. You shuffle back from the chow hall. You're doing something else. It's nonstop for 3 days. It's intense. At the same time, you don't know what's going on. You just have no idea. Drone instructors yelling at you. And then you get dropped to your training platoon. That's when the chaos really starts. But it is, receiving is horrible. It's you're homesick, right? If you're in San Diego, you're watching the planes take off, like, good God, how did I get back on one of those? I need to be on a plane out of here. So it's tough. All right. What happens from the weightest experience? What happens when you can't complete an obstacle in basic? You're going to complete it. You may not the first or second time or third time, but you're going to complete it. If you don't complete something, you're not going to be a Marine. There's other things, like if you can't, the slide for life, chances are you're going to fall off the slide for life. Slide for life. Most everyone does. You're just shimmying down a rope. You're going to drop into the water. You've completed it. You've tried it. As long as you don't quit or give up and don't try something, you're fine. You don't have to be the best at any of it. You can't quit or give up, period. Certain things, rifle range, swim qual, PFT, you have to pass. If you don't pass, you're not going to be a Marine. That's when they send you to the Army. Just kidding. Just a little dig at the Army. We love you, soldiers. All right. Stepping off the bus through Black Friday sucks. Yes. That's that whole first week, that receiving. Bulldog, PI 1965. All right. Here we go. We ready? First topic. Where's Carl? Everything happens for a reason. We talked a little bit about a couple weeks ago or a couple shows ago. Well, I guess if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Or the opposite. It didn't happen because it wasn't meant to be. We dispelled some myths about that. You can't just rest and say, oh, if this promotion's meant to be, I guess it'll happen. No, you got to put in the work. And then you make it meant to be. So don't just sit and wait. Same with everything happens for a reason. I personally believe there's some truth to that as well. There is no accidents. There are accidents. There's no by chance. I happened to running into my lieutenant yesterday from Afghanistan. Everything happens for a reason. We bumped into each other for a reason. And, reconnecting, talking about our stories. And he even said, man, your channel pops up all the time on my feed. I think that happened for a reason. But don't dismiss those things when they happen. Say, oh, if it was meant to be, I guess it was meant to be. Those two kind of couple together. But does everything happen for a reason? Do you get promoted for a reason? Do you not get promoted for a reason? Those are all lessons. Those are all lessons from God. God has a plan. God has your plan. He knew it before you even born. He already planned it out. So when things do happen, they absolutely happen for a reason. And it's what you do with them, what you do with those encounters that provides the planning, right? Right back to planning your outing, planning your next event, planning your next journey. Because halfway through your journey, if you happen to sit in a den of rattlesnakes, that happened for a reason too. It just reminded you, hey, plan your next step, plan your next trip, plan your next journey. Don't just go willy-nilly. Willy-nilly? Is that the right way to use that? So you can be spontaneous. Hey, you know what? Let's go for a 50-mile hike right now. Strap them up. We're going. Put your boots on and you go. You'll put a little more thought into it than just that. Because you don't want to get halfway there and all of a sudden, I forgot water. No communication. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. So you can be spontaneous, but find your way. Have your base camp plan. Look who's here. Carl Green in the house was lurking. You heard me talking about you? Good thing I didn't say anything bad. Did I say anything bad about Carl? No, never. I never would. Good to see you, Carl. Carl's always here, right? Kimi's got you. She knew. She knew you were here.
Jared says he's popping the orange smoke again.
Popping orange smoke. Pop smoke. Appreciate you, Carl. Carl also has a blue wrench that we want to change to a hammer. John McJunkin. Poolee Hastings asks, can these drill instructors force you to eat certain foods, especially if they make you sick or cause a recruit to vomit? Is this a trick question? No, absolutely not. They're not going to make you eat something that you're allergic to or that you know is going to make you vomit. But there's more to it than just that. That's not just a black and white question, because are you eating? Are you eating enough to sustain? You're going to be burning. You need 2,000 calories a meal down there. So yes, about 6,000 calories a day because of amount of stuff you're going to be doing. So would they highly encourage you to eat? Yes, but if it's something you know you're going to get sick or you've eaten and gotten sick from it, they're not going to force you to. No, again, they're trying to make you Marines. Although it may feel like a haze X at times, they're trying to make you a basically trained Marines. So don't worry about the chow. And the chow is good, and there's always multiple choices, even in boot camp. This is not the Air Force basic where a restaurant and a waiter comes and asks you what you want. You're going to go through the line, and if you know you can't eat that item and they put it on your tray, you're moving. Just don't eat it, but make sure you do get enough of other food. So no, again, even the chow hall is different, a whole lot different nowadays. Mark Hankins, clarification on the MAVNI. I never even heard that. Program started with Bush in 2008. Obama expanded the program. Trump canceled it. Semper Fi, folks. All right. Here we go. Carl popping orange smoke. Jared. Whoa.
Way behind.
I know. Let me get caught up.
Read USMC 675.
USMC 675. My two uncles, World War II, my father in Korea, myself, then last year my son, and now my daughter is in boot camp at Parris Island. Where they make real Marines? Semper Fi. USMC 675. Uncles, dad, yourself, your son, and now your daughter. That is a Semper Fi, my friend, family right there. Good on you. Congratulations to all of you. And Semper Fi, leather necks. That is awesome. Get some. Parris Island, making Marines. Not as good as San Diego, but they're making Marines. That was a meme I saw. Just kidding. JTB is here. Boot camp, 1046, 1371. All right. Ali the AI is here. Yo, chat, let's blow this up. 50 likes and we go boom, boom. Let's do it. Stoner about spatula, weapon of destruction. That's a tool of his choice. All right. See that new Marine base on Guam? No. Did they open it up on Guam? Is that a fact? That's old news?
That's lost. Another one?
I know, again, decades ago, I was part of the crew that went and tore down Anderson South, old Air Force housing base. We got to destroy, like Marines just love to do. We were kicking in doors and breaking windows and shotguns and C4 shaped charges. We just destroyed. That was our mission, to destroy base housing. Tell me how cool that was. It was hot as heck and it was miserable being there because we also slept there. It's like 100 and some degrees every day. Guam is beautiful. But that was the intent, there, to destroy that place. And why not get some training out of it? We actually did door to door, house to house. We had plans to do it, but it was tanks rolling over houses. It was awesome. But that was the idea. And it's been going on for decades. And they're going to move 3rd Marines there. 3rd Marines was going to open that new base. Hope so. All right, there. From the producer, double tap, hit the like button. Thanks for the reminder. Ali, the AI. It's open, says Carl. All right.
Oh, they're just starting to put people on it. That's fine.
They're just starting to put people on it now. All right.
150 there now.
150. That's a great place to start. To start to stand up a unit. How cool is that? Dave Morgan, I was in Guam on a Westpac 87 or 88. Guam is awesome. The place the sun rises first in the United States, right? That's the first place it rises. Ye old sea witch. Is it true that Delta Force is better than you guys? That's cute. We like that. All right. So is everything meant to happen for a reason? That's on you and how you take it, but just don't dismiss it when things do happen. Chance meetings of friends, of people. You run into someone, you hear from someone, you see them on your social medias, whatever it is. Those aren't just chance happenings. Everything does happen for a reason. I fully believe it in my heart. That's part of God's plan. So take advantage of it. That's why, reconnecting with my adjutant from first deployment to Afghanistan, it was amazing. Catching up and good on him. He's doing awesome. I'm really so proud of him and happy for him. All right. Jared, no, see which Delta is great at being Delta, and we are great at being Marines. And facts. Yes, special forces are special forces for a reason. Marsoc. I kid. You guys are cool. Thanks, you old sea witch. We know. We're pretty humble, too. Marines are humble. We don't like to brag. All right. So here goes the next topic. Carl, you're supposed to keep me on topic. Get me in trouble. This is a leadership one. And it coupled with, so I ran into the adjutant yesterday, and today we had a chance to connect. He's a reservist now, so he was PTing his boys. Awesome. He's on his 2-week ERA. What do you think you're going to do for those 2 weeks? As a major, soon to be lieutenant colonel, PTing with his Marines. It gets no better than that. Come on. ERA. So today I waited till after he was done, then we chatted it up. And we're talking about leadership, right? Because he was an adjutant, second lieutenant when he deployed with our battalion, and being on the battalion staff as a second lieutenant can be pretty intimidating. The job of an adjutant is the unsung hero, the behind the things. Shout out to adjutants. They don't always pick it. He, if I remember correctly, if you're here, he chose to be an adj, which is odd. Most lieutenants don't. All lieutenants, not all lieutenants. A lot of lieutenants want to be logistics or infantry. Infantry number one. But again, every single lieutenant cannot be an infantry officer. But he chose to be an adjutant, and he was good at it. He was very good at it. Young and intelligent, and just knocked it out of the park. And then, so we were talking about leadership today, because now he's a reservist and he works with plenty of civilians. So we're talking about civilian leadership. I shared some stories that I've had since I retired about the power of leadership. In the military, fortunately, that leadership doesn't last forever. Fortunately and fortunately. In the military, if you run across a bad leader, one of you's leaving soon. One of you is PCSing soon. So you're not going to be exposed to that bad leadership for too much longer. Either you leave or he leaves, or she. Civilian community's different. You got to kind of suck it up. I mean, you have to. If it's an organization that neither one of you plan on leaving, you finally got your dream job, let's say, and the CEO, the president, whatever position he or she is in, they're going to camp out for a while. And maybe they're in their dream job as well, but they're terrible at it. You can only have so much patience. How long do you wait it out? Then it becomes on you 100%. Do you just roll with it? Do you just pretend it's not there? Do you just hope it'll get better? Or do you voice your opinion? Another personal choice, building that foundation. And then when you do address it and it becomes constant argument or discussions or this is how we do it, and you better get on board or leave, that's a good indicator right off the bat that it probably is a good time to leave, right? If that's the final answer, if you don't like it, leave. It might be a good time. Again, on you. But once those discussions stop happening because that leader is continuing to discuss and argue, and this is how we do it, and this is how we do it, and this is how we do it, this is how we're going to continue to do it, you as a leader got to recognize when that individual stops arguing with you, it's not because you won the argument. Hear me again. Two people arguing about something, when the person you're arguing with stops arguing, it doesn't always necessarily mean, oh, I've gotten through to them. They turned you off. They stopped listening. They're not entertaining that argument anymore. They know that you are stuck in your ways and nothing's going to change. So if you have an employee who's constantly questioning you or just requesting knowledge, sir, why are we still doing it like this 30 years later? It's not working. When that employee stops asking that, yet you haven't changed anything, oh, he finally gets it. No, he has given up on you. And that's when the decision becomes time for me to go, time for me to move on, time for me to change something in my life. You can't change people, nor should you even try. You can only change how you react to those people. So that's a decision that you have to make. I'm going to do a video or a short at least on when is it time to leave a bad organization. And there's not a set time.
May 2025 is a good time.
May 2025. When is it time to leave a bad organization? Again, everyone's life, everyone's situation is different, and you got to realize it. But when there's a couple indicators right off the bat, when you see that organization continuing to go downhill, nothing changes. Here's a big one. When good employees around you see are leaving, like, no, don't go, bro, we need you here. No, that person has reached their limit. They're gone. And then another good one leaves. Another good one leaves. And still the business hasn't changed their model at all. You have to be morally okay with yourself to stay in an organization like that. Because I'm going to bring this up, and I don't want to offend anybody. It becomes about money. Once it becomes about money, and everyone needs money, right? You got to work. You have to live. You have to survive. You have to have an income to survive, period. Money for the mission. I talked about the merch shop earlier. We don't have a merch shop to become billionaires. We have a merch shop to keep the lights on, literally. Keep those lights on and keep the camera rolling. So that's money for the mission. That's different than being money driven. And you can tell bad leaders right off the bat that are money driven, selfish and money driven. That's when the organization hasn't changed and good people are leaving. You've heard me say this 100 times. People don't leave bad organizations. They leave bad leadership. So, indicator, people around you are leaving. Good people, solid people. Your customer base is dwindling. Customer base keeps dwindling and dwindling and dwindling. When you get complaints, can you make everybody happy? Never. You're never going to make everybody happy. But that doesn't mean dismiss every negative comment. That doesn't mean dismiss them. That means entertain every single problem, every single issue, and you still do your best to improve.
Oh, I didn't see that one. I hit it. Oh, that's what I hit.
Right there. Look at from C. Polanski. When employee stops listening, it's acceptable. When the employee stops listening, it's not acceptance, it's resignation. They give up, right? When Marines, people say about Marines, when a Marine stops bitching, can I say that? Once a Marine stops bitching, he's not happy, he has given up, right? And this from, again, this said it all to me in that last organization. I should have recognized it sooner. One of the fellow employees, same position, talking about doing an after action report. He didn't turn one in. I'm like, bro, we were told to turn in after action. We got to fix a lot of things around here. This is messed up. Things need to be. He said, bro, I've been filling out after action, after action, after action, after action. Nothing's changing. Nothing's going to change. It's a waste of my time. It is a waste. And he said that publicly. Why didn't you turn one in? I didn't turn one in because nothing's going to change. That should have been poof.
And then the U-Haul showed up.
Next day you saw a U-Haul back up. That's called resignation, Polanski. Then a U-Haul backed up. He was gone. Right? He didn't. And I'm optimistic, and I got patience. But 4 years was too long. Was 3 years too long for me? Optimistic. Things happen for a reason. Things happen for a reason when they happen. This was God's plan, because what came of all that? This channel, this community, making it so someone else doesn't have to go through the same pain that we did for 4 years or 3. I'll say the first year was good. But it's lessons learned. It's building that foundation, right? Should I have done more research and more work? That would have been a good opportunity for me to check with that base camp. Find out where they've been. Why are they still in the hole financially 4 years later, 5 years later, then the next year, then the next year, some indicators, right? But I want to see past this, working with Marines, retirees, right? Motivation. Everything was there, and everything is there, except the leadership. So it's tough. Everything happens for a reason. That wasn't a waste of my life. Lessons learned. I tell you all the time this too, and you know this. You learn just as much from bad leadership as you do good leadership. And I got to tell you, my lessons learned are tapped out. My toolbox of lessons learned is full from this last organization. So keep pushing. Keep pushing. And that's why another gentleman saw my shirt. I was wearing it at the gym, the cross, the new one. Go to the website and check it out. The cross, SFMF. He's like, that sure doesn't mean Semper Fi, mother, you know what? I was like, no. Let me tell you what it means. He's like, oh my God, I love it. Where can I get one? And he busted out his phone. He said, I'm subscribed right now. I'm going to order me a shirt tonight. But it's the lessons learned along the way. He said, I'm taking this to my church. I do a small men's group, and half of them are Marines. That's what that last 4 years was all about. There's many positives. I don't miss the circus. I just miss the clowns. There are some awesome clowns at that organization. Again, a lot of them left before me because they didn't. I love to endure the pain, I guess. I'm just a glutton for punishment is why I stayed as long as I did.
You're eternal optimist.
Eternal optimist. That's what I am. I'm an eternal optimist. And I would tell those leaders, I'm positive to a fault. Positive, is that the word? Optimistic. I would tell them I'm optimistic to a fault. Even though I've seen you lead this place into the dirt, I'm optimistic to a fault, clearly, because it took me a long time to give in. I didn't quit or give up.
You have to be invited to leave.
They didn't kick me out. They invited me to leave. Psych. Who knows psych? That's where I got that from. They invited me to leave. And it was obviously the best thing that could have happened for me. The best. Still angry about it. That again, God's that anger puts you in a prison that you build. Right? It still pisses me off. But why? I'm moving on. Look at this now.
That was a disservice to the kids.
Disservice. It's an injustice. Do you know about that? It is an injustice. It probably is against the law, what they're doing. It should be, people should be held accountable, is what it is. All right.
Where the heck were you?
Look at Jared. I miss the clowns. That's why I subscribe to this channel. Facts. 100%. All right. Awesome. That was all. And that was my topic is when someone stops arguing, pay attention. Pay attention when someone stops arguing with you, plain and simple. Could be anybody, any situation, which I'm going to roll right into MPs, military police. I'm going to roll right into a great story with that couples together. I put them side by side because of that. When someone stops arguing with you, pay attention. Pay attention to what they're saying, the nonverbal comments, the nonverbal. Pay attention to the nonverbal. Why have they stopped arguing? Oh, finally, I got through to them. No, probably not. All right. Adam East, what's up, guns? Jared, I was going to say you are the clown. Kidding, not kidding. All right, I added the not kidding part. Our banter here is not that far out from being back in the Marine Corps. I'm telling you, it's that camaraderie. Irreplaceable. I hate the circus, Vic C. I'm telling you, it can be bad. Jared confirmed he definitely is the clown, guns. Sergeant Cece is not wired to give up. Mark Hankins, I'm telling you, you know what I mean? How hard can you just imagine was that for me to leave? Right? It was, luckily I was invited to leave, but how hard was that? Because I did feel like I was giving up. I don't give up on nothing. And that was for my sanity. Morally, my moral compass wouldn't let me go any further. No way. All right. From the producer, Jerry, you can either be the man on the flying trapeze or the dude that sticks his head in the lion's mouth. Which one?
Either.
Frazee. Who said that?
Jared said he'd do either.
Either one. There you go. Frazee, I like this. A smarter one usually gives up first. And yeah, read between the lines. Yeah. What's that other saying? When you argue with an idiot? I don't remember. Yeah, when you argue with an idiot, so somebody's heard it before. I'm the most militaristic guy you know, says Trump. I'm not a quitter, but to my own detriment sometimes. Only because you said no. Somebody tell me how that saying goes. When you argue with an idiot. Like I watch a lot of police videos and courtroom stuff. I like watching that because people are truly idiots. When people pro se, when they don't hire a lawyer, they don't want a lawyer. They're gonna represent themselves. And the judges always say, you know what they say, a person that is their own lawyer has a fool for a client. Judges even say, I'm a judge and I would hire an attorney before I would represent myself. A person who represents themselves has a fool for a client. All right. McJunkin? Mine? Oh, let's see. Jared. Oh, you have another one? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Never argue with an idiot. They will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. Thank you, producer, for putting that out there. Never argue with an idiot. They will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience
Oh, Randy's got a good one.
and knowledge.
Same thing.
Is Randy's on there too? I think I'm trying to muscle this baby into place. It hasn't popped up for me yet. I'm going to read John McJunkins, and then once it pops up, I'll read it. Young Marine Clopper asks, This was my first Christmas to lay the wreath and render salute to each grave. I broke down crying. I felt like a wuss, but was told it was just nerves. It's not just nerves, it's being a human being and being real. I'm telling you, I struggle through taps anymore. And being able to be having the honor to lay the wreath at a fallen service member, you're human. And that's a great empathy. It's empathy, so good on you.
Get out of there. Get out of there. Now scroll. There you go.
Okay, Randall Knapp. Never argue with the fool. Onlookers may not be able to tell the difference. Facts. I'm telling you. And watching two idiots argue, one of them could be intelligent, but the idiot is going to keep you down. Zombie blood. We keep the fight going no matter how many times you fall. Marines always get up. You don't lose a fight if you get knocked down. You lose a fight if you don't stand back up. That's Muhammad Ali. Jared. There's an old saying. It is better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. I'm telling you. So it could be when you stop arguing with someone, man. That's what I dealt with, right? Where's Polanski? She knows. That's what I dealt with last 4 years. Some of those conversations were just like that. Really? That really just came out of your mouth? Lay Cookie, Jared. Well, I think when you figure out that they're stupid and unfixable or way harder headed than you. Never argue with the genius or your drill instructor. Good tip, Vixie. Great tip. Dean, what's your favorite gun? My left and my right. It's been a while. Dean. Thanks. Pepe and Frederico. Thanks for opening that door for me.
Thanks. Everyone's happy about that. I don't know whoever that was.
Long rifle, M4 is my favorite. I'm not a big gun guy like most Marines are, and they know everything about every single weapon. I grew up with an M16A1, loved it, or A2, loved it, until the M4 came out. Now I'm in love with the M4, the one just like the one on my bulkhead behind me. From the sand dunes, Lay Cookie. Frazier says, in Germany, we have a name for stupid people trying to drag you down. Energy vampires. They drain your energy. I'm telling you, and I'm told you I'm optimistic to a fault. Stupidly optimistic, because sometimes I just can't. But talking to these people, I was like, do you believe the things that you're saying, or are you messing with me? All right, where's the candid camera? Am I on bloopers? Am I being X'd? What was that one show? Am I being punked? Am I being punked right now? Do you believe the words that you're saying? Do you believe that policy that you've had for 30 years? There's no way. And I will. I'll discuss it until I'm blue in the face. Mike, 300. Smith says, I refuse to have a battle. And I refuse to have a battle of wits with an unarmed person. I'm going to get caught up right here. John McJunkin. Poolee Copley asks, is it normal for a recruit to have trouble sleeping the entire time in boot camp? The entire time? I think that's...
It might be a 24-hour problem. Get tired quick, no?
Yeah, one, you're going to get tired quick. And two, is it unusual? Is that what he asked? It already moved up. Is it unusual for a recruit to have trouble sleeping throughout the entirety of boot camp? I think that is unusual. Trouble sleeping the entire time in boot camp. So you may not have a good night's sleep where you're well rested. You wake up in the morning and say, wow, that was great. But you're getting sleep. You're getting sleep because you're exhausted. You're completely exhausted. So you may not have trouble falling asleep. You might have trouble sleeping through the night or waking up motivated. I tell you, that was the thing I hated about boot camp the most was the mornings, was waking up in the mornings, probably feeling like, and it's been a while, but man, did I even sleep last night? You're getting sleep. You're that exhausted, moving from 5 a.m. to 10 o'clock at night, moving. you're sleeping. Is it sound, comfortable with your teddy bear sleep? No. And you're always anxious, always on edge. But that's more of a medical question, I think, a sleep study, because whoever that happened to, how are they sleeping now? Boot camp is intense. There's no two ways about it. So it's intense, and you're not going to have that wonderful sleep. Randall Knapp says, it's amazing. It's an amazing ability to never quit or back down. Sometimes it makes me want to react instead of calm down. A drunk almost hit my car today with Ellie in it. I stayed calm. Very difficult. Very, very difficult. It is, Randall. It takes a bigger person, right? You should tell the Marines all the time, it takes a bigger man not to fight. You're a tough guy if you fight. Somebody bumps into you, you fight. Does that make you a man? It takes a man to walk away from a fight, to be calm, cool, and collected. Defend yourself at all costs. But it takes a bigger man to walk away from a fight. Still believe that to this day. And I know us older gentlemen, right? Can you see me getting in a fight at my day and age? I'm going to defend myself and I will hurt somebody, but I'm not going to start a fight. Really? Come on. A little too old for that. I did get hit in my car. I was a young staff sergeant. This dude T-boned me. And I was angry. I just got promoted. It was the day of my staff sergeant promotion. I was going home, fired up, motivated. He did an illegal U-turn. Or no, I T-boned him because he did an illegal U-turn. Out of nowhere, from the right lane, was doing a U-turn, boom. Hit him in the door. He was okay. Everyone was okay. But I was so mad because it wasn't damage to my car. And I was on my way home wanting to celebrate and just have a good time. I may have pulled him out of the window and cursed out right in the middle of it. I was angry. But then I was like, what? Calm down, be cool. He didn't do it on purpose, or even if he did, it was an accident. What would that have solved if me beating the crap out of him? Then I would have got in trouble. So good on you, Randall, for keeping calm, and glad you guys are okay. A drunk almost hit my car, so be safe, be aggressive, be safe. Enemy says, don't remind me. Ironing my cover right now. Wore my camis 2 times last year. Tomorrow I get to wear them for the first time this year. All right. Excuse me.
Also, you need to get on track.
Carl says, I need to get on track. All right.
That was 5 minutes ago.
That was 5 minutes ago. Here's a couple good ones right here. Do you read the Bible and understand it? Reading the Bible, going to church and learning from it, but no, I don't understand all of it, but read the Bible. All right. Next topic. Next topic is military police. And a shout out to military police. One of them, another unsung hero, just like cops in the real world. You see a cop, you're driving down the road, you're like, oh crap, I hope he doesn't pull me over. Was I doing anything wrong? Already kind of a negative connotation. Is that the right word? You're already like, oh God, here's a cop. MPs are the same, I think. I mean, I feel that way. Oh man, there's an MP right there. Am I doing anything wrong? You run into them anytime you go on base because they're at the gate. I'm glad to see a lot more Marines at the gates nowadays. But it's kind of I don't think they get the respect. I don't think they get disrespected. But again, you normally don't like to see a cop. I do. I'm always interested in it. I like going on base. I like chatting it up with the gate guard. I make sure there's nobody behind me. Don't worry, I'm not that guy. But I do like having a conversation, a quick one. How you doing? The morning's been cold. Last couple of times I went. Stay warm. Motivator. Calling warrior breed, right? A verbal greeting. Just little things like that. Well, today I got random checked. I was randomly selected for an inspection. On my way to the gym, it's 4 something in the morning. I'm like, oh, man, really? Was my initial reaction. Luckily, I didn't say it out loud. He said, good morning, Sergeant Major, did my ID, good to go. He was apologetic right from the get-go, knowing, expecting some kind of reaction. Not the one I gave him, because he said, you've been randomly selected for an inspection. If you could follow this Marine, then don't pass him, stay behind him, and he's going to guide you over to the inspection station. And I learned this a long time ago being married. You don't say the first thing that comes to your mind. So he said, sorry, but you've been randomly selected. I said, yes, I won the lottery. Where are we going? And right away, it's just an ease put over this MP's mind. Like, he didn't have to defend himself. I wasn't attacking him. What? You got to be kidding me, really? Which is, I'm sure, what he probably normally gets. Oh, man, come on. I'm just going. We're making the best of it. It's early. It's cold. And he didn't want to be the one to have to tell me, right? Because I'm sure there was a supervisor who's, okay, next one is random. We're going to do a random inspection. So automatically the Marine was like, oh, God, why? But I already started off on a good note. Yes, let's go. So we roll around the corner. I'm following this Marine, and I get to a parking stall, and there's two more Marines, and there's even a civilian there or in civilian gear. So it was being observed by everybody. And again, instead of my gut reaction, this sucks, I can't believe this, how did I get ran? Not a car in sight. Really? Are they just bored and they want to mess with me? Those are all the thoughts that I'm sure anyone would have at that moment. But it wasn't. It needs to be done. I want them to have that kind of training. You kidding me? How great is that if you look at the bigger picture of their mission? I'd want them to, I'd like to be the guy randomly selecting people to be inspected. Some shady vehicles you see on base. So even when I got out, I was like, all right, what do you need me to do? He said, open all the doors, the glove box, the middle console, the back, it's in my truck, and everything, any compartments, please make sure they're all open, put the keys on the dash, and stand out here in the cold. Again, could have easily been, bro, really? You kidding me? Well, you do what you got to do and let me go on my way. Nothing. Got out, I was drinking my pre-workout, and even the Marine who was like guarding me, because one is standing with the individuals in the vehicle, the other two are inspecting cameras, mirrors, whatever they got. And so I'm talking to the Marine. What else are we going to do? We're standing there in the cold, in the dark, waiting for this to happen. I'm like, hey, appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much for what you do. I hope you get...
I'm a little sus. I'd be like, okay, this guy's real too nice. Check under the hood. Check under the seat.
Check under the seat. What are you drinking? What's really in that shaker? What's your problem? Funny you say that, because he did say, how do you do it, Sergeant Major? How are you just so motivated this early in the morning? Where are you headed? So I'm going to the gym, man. He's like, how do you do it? It's so early. And he was really genuinely like, can you just imagine what they deal with as MPs, to having to inconvenience someone to their day? You don't think the MP was inconvenienced? He's probably the supervisor, corporal or sergeant, sitting in that nice warm duty hut watching the MPs do their work, and he had to come out, and it's 4 a.m. He's inconvenienced himself, but he's doing his job, right? So just the whole interaction was great, as inconvenient as it was. And then it wasn't over. Then he said, okay, if you could go back off base, he said, follow this road all the way around. It's going to take you around to light. Then you can come back on base. Again, I want to say, really? Why can't I just go that way? We're already on base. You've already inspected. That's the policy. So I do, and I go back around. Again, no cars anywhere. So I'm rolling up to the same MP at the gate who sent me over there in the first place. But now it's just 20 minutes later. Easily could have said, thanks, jerk. And now I'm 20 minutes. Now I'm going to miss my workout. But even when I came back through, he's like, nice to see you again, Sergeant Major. A little timid, a little like, man, I'm sorry again. He didn't say it, but I felt it. And all I could say, bro, keep up the good work. Nice work. Keep us all safe here. Appreciate you. Appreciate what military police can go through. So point of all that is right back to, if someone stops arguing with you, that could have gone much, much different. And I'm sure it does on a daily basis. I don't know. I'm not the only one who has that positive attitude. I'm not saying that at all, but just if you're in that situation, understand both sides. You don't know what that MP was going. He could have just came on shift, or he could have been on for the past 6 hours, right? His last task for his shift was a random inspection. That's how you want to go out, right? He's just thinking about getting in his warm room somewhere back at the barracks and crashing out. And the last thing he needs is someone crashing out on him. So understand people and where they're coming from. Could have went totally different. All right. And why is my it's not don't do it, Kimmy. I think I might be frozen over here. Is OG the last one?
Nope.
We're getting caught up. MP. So shout out to the MPs, the military, police, truly. Shout out to those guys. Can't wait to see you. Hope he's on duty again tomorrow. I'm going to yell at him. Bro, don't you dare. Don't you dare make me pull over again.
I don't know where you are. Hold on.
And last but not least, Carl, am I still on track? Oh, I didn't even see. R.H.I.P. Have you heard that term? R.H.I.P. Where does that come from? I am, right? Am I frozen over here?
Yeah.
I'm frozen. That's all right. R.H.I.P. is the last topic of tonight. And when we discussed it, R.H.I.P., rank has its privileges, is what it stands for, R.H.I.P. I think they still use that, right? Current Marines, do they still use that, R.H.I.P.? And you would hear it when, I remember hearing on the rifle range. And when I got promoted to staff sergeant, all of a sudden, R.H.I.P., because staff NCOs at that time, two things bonus about being a staff sergeant on the range, on the rifle range, not the pistol range, well, both, but specifically on the rifle range. One, you can go to the armory on your own, because you're a staff NCO now. You go to the armory. Not only can you, where our armory was from the firing line, the Edson Range was the first place I fired when I picked up staff sergeant. You can drive. You can put your weapon in your trunk and drive with your rifle on the rifle range. I was like, whoa, man, this feels good to be a staff NCO. R.H.I.P. Rank has its privileges. I didn't have to go with the platoon and walk and wait in line. Everyone's getting their rifles. It's freezing cold. It's 4:03 in the morning. You're hungry. Do I eat at the Roach Coach? And man, we got a fire. And oh my God, is it going to rain? They rolled up there in my vehicle, waited till the line died down and got my rifle, put in my trunk. Now I'm driving a big staff NCO. Let me hit these members real quick. Stoner Bob, member for 6 months. Randall Knapp, gifted 5 memberships. What I'm going to talk about, remind me to talk about memberships right after this. Thank you, Randall. Appreciate you, brother. And I've been frozen for a while, so if I missed you, apologies. Thank you, Randall. So back to R.H.I.P. That's when I experienced rank has its privileges. And then at that time, at that time, staff NCOs weren't required to pull butts, right? You shoot on the range, whatever, quality throughout the week, you shot, and then you took off, right? You still get shaken down, make sure it didn't accidentally keep around or something. Get in your POV, turn your rifle in, and you're gone. More gifted membership, Carl Green, thank you. Thank you, Randall Knapp. Thank you, Carl Green. Membership. I'm going to talk about memberships right after this last topic. So that's a very positive R.H.I.P. And what that does, I think, also what it did for me, seeing R.H.I.P. throughout my time as a young Marine motivated me to want to get promoted. In the barracks, open squad bay, being a Lance Corporal, you saw that the corporals, the NCOs, had an NCO section in the barracks. R.H.I.P. Rank has that privilege that they don't have to share a bunk in a little cubicle with another Marine and you share everything. And you got to go to the back of the squad bay with the poncho liner that separated you from the Gen Pop. R.H.I.P. There's times like that when the first honor say, okay, NCOs, you're free to go. It's Friday. Have a good weekend. E3 and below, stay here. And then you get this massive, whatever, you do a field day first and clean the company area, police call outside. Well, the corporals, the NCOs are already off. That's R.H.I.P. Those are good uses of R.H.I.P. Gives you something to strive for, something to work for. Can't wait till I'm on the other side of that poncho liner one day. Can't wait till I can put my rifle in the trunk of my car and go to the rifle range. Funny, because I still went to pull butts as a staff sergeant. Like, why are you down your staff sergeant? You don't got to be here. You don't got to be here. I'm just being a Marine, man. I'm not having someone do my work for me, because that's what it was. When I remember as a young Marine, you get down to the butts, and all of a sudden, hey, didn't you have a shooter with you? He's a staff sergeant. He took off, and this guy, one Marine's trying to do all of it and paste and pull and look for shots. You're like, that's a bad use of R.H.I.P. That's the complete opposite. Yeah, he's earned it, right? He doesn't have to go to the butts, but that's not a time you use rank has its privileges. Still go down to the butts, and guess what? You're pulling and pasting. I'm going to observe. That's using R.H.I.P. I'm a staff sergeant. You're a lance corporal. You're going to do all the hard work, but I'm helping you. I'm doing it with you. Again, just a different use of rank has its privileges. As long as you don't abuse it, right? My notes are use, abuse, or lose. The lose was from the producer. Or you're going to lose that R.H.I.P. Parking spots, right? This was a sore subject for me for the longest time as a young Marine in Okinawa. The commander used to take calls. I was at the Staff NCO Academy. I was in charge of uniforms, regulations. That was my job at the Staff NCO Academy, one of the classes I gave. And I coupled that with one, proper civilian attire. And we went way too far high and to the right with uniform, where it got ridiculous. That was in the 90s, early 2000s, right? We got stupid. The Marine Corps got stupid with uniform regulations. I'm talking everything had to be tucked in.
Because you're at the academy mindset.
Yeah, and I was at the Staff NCO Academy. I had that mindset. We're training tomorrow's future, tomorrow's leaders, training sergeants, and you're growing up. This is where you're going to be when you're a Staff NCO. So it was the mindset coupled with, I think it was just that time. Everything you wore had to have belt loops. And if you got belt loops, you got to have a belt. And every shirt had to be tucked in to include sweaters or sweatshirts. Get this, it gets crazier. Jerseys, football jerseys, hockey jerseys. If you were wearing any of that stuff, it had to be tucked in. And then once you tucked it in, your trousers or your shorts better have belt loops, right? Nothing like you see today with basketball shorts and sweats and pajama bottoms and Crocs and all that crap that Marines wear nowadays. So we may have been high and to the right in the early 2000s in Okinawa, but we're completely low and to the left today. Horrible today, the way you see some Marines dress in the exchange, in the commissary, in the PXs. Terrible. Who did?
No, you.
Oh.
The whole guy's here.
All right. So, R.H.I.P. See what you did? You made me go on this little tangent about personal appearance. You heard me say before, dress up before you dress down. If you're too dressed up, you're wearing a suit and tie when it's Aloha crisp, you can take the tie off, undo the top button. You're still not underdressed. If you show somewhere underdressed, you can't fake a suit and tie if everyone else is in that. So dress up. So if you need to dress down a little bit, you can. Completely different. Nowadays, I'm telling you, you've been there. You see them. Might even be one of you. So dress up before you dress down. So the parking spots in Okinawa, what parking spots do you always see open? Everywhere you go, every Marine Corps installation, where are the open spots? Right up front, they have the handicap. And of course, some bases, not of course, but some bases add expectant mothers. Good looking out. Marine of the Quarter, NCO of the Quarter, every now and then you'll see those. Gold Star, those are Yard of the Quarter, right? Those are overseas. Are they out here too? I'm sure in mainland too,
On base,
on base.
thousand.
There's some near housing, right? There's some particular ones that I think are great. But then the E9 parking, and even more specific, some say sergeant major or master gunnery sergeant. The O6s, the general parking spots, those are always empty. So always, most of the time, empty. Of course, as a young Marine, I'm like, man, that's such a waste. The frequency that a general is going to shop at the PX or the commissary and the number of generals on base is far less than E5 and below. So I attempted to get that changed to have the front parking E5 and below. The generals and sergeants major, they don't frequent those establishments as much as everyone else, nor are they near the number, much less generals, colonels, and E9s. Got shut down with a heartbeat, in a heartbeat. No, there's so many, by the base commander said there's this many spots and this many. So got it, understood. But then later as an E9, I've even been asked, do you park in an E9 parking spot? Like, are you a hypocrite? Right? When you weren't an E9, you were mad at those spots. Now that you're an E9, do you park in them? Here's how we look at it. Is it better for me to take a close parking spot that's not marked, an open spot for E5 and below for anybody, or that E9 spot that's going to remain open and nobody can park there? So flipping the script a little bit, yes, I'll park in the E9. I'll actually look for it. And the E9 it ain't that great. It's designated, but it's not always as great as the O6s and the general and the flag officer, and the Navy's even worse at it than Marines. They have shipboard OIC and shipboard captain and ship master chief petty officer, and they get a whole bunch of designated. They got like 30 spots in the front for people. They're always open. That's R.H.I.P. in a different sense. And that's going to be hard to beat. I don't know if that'll ever go away. And I had it explained to me in a different context altogether. As a civilian, the CEO, the president of Toyota, when he goes to Walmart, does he have a parking spot? Or even the president of Walmart, and he goes to a Walmart, does he have his own parking spot? No, of course not. Because he wants customers to park there. He wants to open that up for people who he's supporting. So I'd be just as happy if none of those spots were there. And caveat, that's a courtesy that you don't park in those spots. It's a courtesy to leave it open for a general. It's a courtesy. You cannot be ticketed. Will you get your butt chewed maybe by a colonel or a sergeant major? Possibly, but it's not against the law. The one and only that you can receive a ticket from parking it is handicap. That is a fine, like $240. You get fined if you park in a handicap stall unauthorized. The rest are courtesy. And I think most people, especially Marines, abide by it. But how great would that be? Again, that Walmart president is not going to, he doesn't have a Walmart president spot in front of every Walmart in the world. He wants his customer base to be able to park there. Along the same lines, you ever go to an organization, usually smaller places, and you see the same car in the front parking spot every time? You're like, ah, man, that guy's always here. No, that's an employee who does get there before it opens, takes a front spot when they're going to spend 8 hours there. Is that a misuse of R.H.I.P? Granted, not really rank involved, but are they taking advantage of them being the first one there? They got to work there. I got to be here all day. They should park in the back, in the way back. Leave those spots open for the frequent flyers. So R.H.I.P, different reasons, different analogy. Can it be used? Should it be used? Yes, you rate it. You rate certain privileges as you get promoted. Just don't abuse them, and eventually could use them, could lose them. All right. I see a John McJunkin crew question. So, Major, I learned not to get angry with anyone for anything, at any time, for any reason, during boot camp even. Like when I seen my sea bag get tossed across the barracks by a DI. That was for safety reasons, John McJunkin. I'm sure there's a good reason for that. Maybe it was a safety hazard that you left your sea bag in an inappropriate place. So what you're saying is, thank you, drill instructor, for clearing the fireway escape for me.
Okay, get out of there. Where's your cursor? You clicked again.
That,
Your cursor's
oh,
over
look. Oh, sometimes it times out also.
there. You're very far behind. Okay, now scroll.
I remember when they gave us coffee at MCT.
Stop. Please stop.
Oh my gosh,
Who was it?
Kimi,
He's
you
moving
touched that.
out of frustration.
Lay Cookie, I would rather pay the handicap ticket than my private butt getting jammed up by a sergeant major for parking in his spot. HMFIC. Hi, my friends. I'm Cece. That's not what that stands for. HMFIC.
It's not?
No. Jared says, I agree. Take what you got or you're going to lose it. Take or use what you rate, you've earned it. I kind of shifted that a little bit. Lay Cookie, I like that. I'd rather pay a handicap ticket than get my private butt jammed.
Click the blue. Click the blue. Click it. Boom.
Boom. That'll go away. I just won't touch it. Stoner Bob, it's not too late to hit the like button. Hit the like button. Where's Carl? We're coming close. HMFIC. What does that really stand for?
Who's asking?
You, what'd you put on there? Hi, my friends. I'm Cece.
Jared said that he was the HMFIC.
HMFIC, right? Jared, close.
The reason I was the motor chief was because my gun was never there because he was going for first cert and was busy all over everywhere. So I was at
HMFIC.
for the company motor.
Venus, blue kite. Semper Fi, my friend. That's what that stands for. Daggum right, Mike. Where do we have members only after party today? Asking Zombie Blood. Wednesday. We're going to do a little shift. We're still shifting. We're still building our foundation. We're still finding our way in 2026. Our base camp is the plan before the journey. So no after party today. No after party. We're talking about Wednesday. Members only. Members. That's what I was supposed to do. Talk about membership. After Carl Green, 15 minutes to LZ. Jared, I'd rather be robbed at knife point than walk on the Sergeant Major's grass. So arm yourself and hunker down. Here we go. Walking on the Sergeant Major's grass. Sergeant Major. First of all, Sergeant Major. Have y'all seen the Sergeant Major, Master Gunner Sergeant short? If you haven't, go watch that one. The short is it's our most popular. It's a good short. The producer did work on it. The best part of that short is the comments. Still getting them today. What's a sergeant? What's a sergeant? What's a sergeant? And I used to take offense to it because I don't think I'm the only one that kind of abbreviates that a little bit. I don't hear too many people say, "Hey, Sergeant Major," or "Master Gunnery Sergeant." It's a, "Hey, Sergeant." Look at Sergeant Rodriguez. Sergeant Rodriguez, Greenbelt, Semper Fi, hurrah. You do hear, like on Forrest Gump, say, "Yes, Drill Sergeant." It's interesting to me. Two of the shorts, and they're popular ones, so there's a lot of comments in it. Sergeant. What is a sergeant? And I can't think of any other way to say it. Hey, go check in with the first sergeant. Or go check in with the first sergeant. A little different. Those still crack me up. So read the comments. They're very, very funny. And the other one is the boot blousing. Blousing your boots, blousing your trousers. The boot bands. The boot band one, that one blew up out of nowhere. That was just one day me showing Annie Benani how Marines blouse their boots. With the boot band, trousers, you fold them one time or two, depending on the length of your trousers. Hers just happened to be, she folded them twice. Boot band, reaching through. She had Army BDUs, but the class was in, right? So they're all different. How many times you fold it, if you have to fold it at all. But the point of the thing was, I was just talking to her about, this is how Marines blouse their trousers. Producer filmed it, and it blew up. And here's why. There's so many other ways people blouse their trousers. And I'm gonna ask right now, right here and right now. You gotta help me out. There's so many that say, I just tuck them in my boot, I tuck them in my sock, I use a hair tie, I use a rubber band, I use the bands that come in the trousers already, which they don't anymore, but just tie it off. What are you talking about? That seems like a waste of time. A boot band, really? I don't believe, and remember, I'm stupidly optimistic, I don't believe there's a single Marine in the entire Marine Corps who doesn't use boot bands. Look at honor, courage, commitment. Are there Marines out here that tuck their trousers in their sock or in their boot? I can see if you lost your boot bands at one point, which you need to watch the other short that says, never lost a boot band in my life, to use something different for a day, a rubber band, your girlfriend's hair tie or something. Got it. There might be that one-off that you did go a half a day without a boot band. But Marines, have you ever, and I'm not talking in the field or in combat either, have you ever, or did you, as a Marine, not use boot bands? Have you ever tucked them in your boot or tucked them in your sock? I got to know. OG, boot bands. Zombie blood. Y'all still put military tags in boots. That went out actually started to go out, Jared, in Desert Storm because it was feared that a dog tag in your boot would also set off a magnetic mine. So we stopped doing that. Units still do that. Tuck your pants in, your soldier. Just tuck your pants in. Soldiers just don't. I missed the soldiers. Just doesn't ring the same as blouse your trousers. Tuck your pants in, soldier. Just doesn't ring the same as blouse your trousers. Zombie blood, boot bands. One's from the PX, honor, courage, commitment. Girlfriend's hair tie. What are you, single? I'm not single, just wondering. What are boot bands? I use blousing bands sold at clothing store. Green stretch bands that was twisty, metal hook. Carl, that's the boot bands. Jared, I never once tucked in my trousers. Not a cook. No? All right. Just, I had to, I'm telling you, I still, every now and then, I tucked in once because I lost my boot bands. Again, fix it as soon as you could. It was just something that interesting to me that I can't imagine any Marines were to ever do that. All right. That would never fly in our unit. Tuck in your boots. Yeah, right. That's why. And when they do, very interesting, and nothing against the Army for doing that. I mean, that's how they do it. But I don't think anyone would have, any Marines would have. In the motor pool, we would use safety wire before tucking. Anything before you just tuck them straight into your sock or boot. Cooks, Bob, y'all wore. Oh, no, cooks would blouse their trousers also. Carl Green, 10 minutes to LZ.
WW's here. He says he's leaving.
WW, where you at? WW. Hello, Sergeant Major and family from Schofield Barracks. Last broadcast for me. I have a MAC flight out
So far behind.
Tuesday. I'm so far behind. Congratulations. WW, Chief Warrant Officer 5. Glad, and I hope all the training went well. I know you got dirty. I know you're going to get some good chow before you leave Hawaii. Make sure you get some good chow. But safe travels heading back to the mainland. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Wednesday we'll be on members only, Wednesday night. Members only. Membership. That's what I want to talk about. Y'all still do annual pistol qual, not annual zombie blood. Depends on your MOS for pistol qual, but it's kind of tough to get on sometimes. Went through this big thing in the Marine Corps where it's saving on ammo. That's when they started being able to certify, or what they call it, on pre-qual. Remember, Thursday used to be a week of qual, a week of snap-in and a week of live fire. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday was pre-qual. In case something happened, you couldn't show up on Friday, so you would get your qualification on Thursday. They changed it to where I think they even started to do Wednesday. Either way, it was to save on ammo. So you can declare on Thursday, yes, I want to keep my score. I got expert. I don't want to risk it. I'm keeping my score for Thursday. You don't have to fire again on Friday. Save the Marine Corps a ton of money on ammo. And again, I think they even backed it up to Wednesday to even save more money. Pistol's a little different. You don't get to go as much. No, WW got the squirts. From what? From the food? Were you guys eating some raw stuff? You get some pig while you're out there? Wow, that's terrible. Sorry to hear that. Hope you get solid soon. Stool. I was going to say solid stools. Man. Randall, we had to earn the privilege to wear boot bands in boot camp, maybe about second phase. I always wore them in camis, right? How great was that in boot camp when you finally got to use the boot bands? So I can't believe Marines anywhere, ever, besides in the field or an emergency, would not use them. And then the short, you got to watch it, go back and find it. Never lost a pair of boot bands in my entire career. Never. Remember showing cadets at one time. I said, look, I've never in my life. Here's how you do it. You take your left boot off. First, you take your boot bands off. Take your left boot out. Put both boot bands in your left boot. If you do that every single time you take them off, you'll never lose a pair. And I showed him. I reached in my left boot. I'm like, look at boot bands. Never lost them. And a cadet was like, wow, you've had those same boot bands for 30 plus years? I'm like, no, not this same exact pair because they get wore out, but I've never misplaced them. Take them off, put them in your left boot 100% of the time. And I've seen some wrap it around the boot, clip it around the toe, leave it in your trousers, something. Take them off, put it in your left boot. Never miss them, never lose them, ever. The boot bands lose elasticity sometimes. So yeah, you got to replace them, right? And I used to double mine up. So there's ways to do it, but never lose them, never go without them. It's just something that Marines don't do. All right, everyone, membership. Appreciate the gifted memberships once again. Those of you that don't know, if you're just joining us, first timers here, members are in green. Their name is in green, and they have a badge next to their name. That's the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. Different colors mean different amounts of time that they've been a member. Dark blue is new members. Green, what comes next after blue? Green, I'm guessing 3 months. Yellow is 6 months. Yeah, gold is 6 months. A year we're getting ready to see very, very soon. My money's on David Bryant being the first color change. We shall see. It's going to be a new color. Oh, shoot. What is that one? Light green? Light blue? Steven. 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. And 6 months, then the next after 6 months is a year. So it should be 4 colors. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. What's the one I'm missing?
It's a green and a teal.
Green, teal. I think it goes dark blue, teal, green,
Light blue, green.
blue, light blue, green, gold. And you're getting ready to see number 5. Excuse me. And that's 1 year. So we're going to see the 1 year here in about 2 weeks. Randall Knapp says he has the first membership badge. Yeah, excuse me. Thank you very much, whoever has gifted a membership. So, gifting memberships, we have some very generous. Carl, Randall, many of you have gifted memberships. We appreciate that very much. Again, it's $1.99. Please, especially if you've been gifted a membership, consider continuing that membership. You just hit the button when you go to the page, hit it to I don't even know, to re-up, right? To re-enlist as a member. That's what we do here. That's what money for the mission to keep the lights on, literally. 1 year should be blood red, says the sand dunes. 1 year badge should be the blood. Along with membership is the emoji that you see right there. The producer put out to Victor Perez, Dave 67. You get a number of emoji that you can use. Somebody put a couple of them up there. Please let you know that you have access. You're a member. You have access to that $1.99. They call it Buy Me Coffee, right? Blood red, renew, Semper Fi, my friends. Red crayons. There's one. Look at Jake Austin put the Smoky up there. That's my favorite one. Carrie Ann Marie Potts. When did you sneak in here, Carrie Ann Marie Potts? 11 months. We're guessing on the 22nd is going to be the newest badge. Oh, look at the pizza box from Kimi Cocoa Puffs. That's how she shot, by the way, on the pistol range. I think she earned her pizza box at the pistol range. She did. She had some good shots. Yeah, and she was one in the mouth. You shot him in the lip or something. that was a stop talking. She tore him up. All right, John McJunkin, and I'm gonna land this helicopter. Promise. Where'd it go? Carrie Ann Marie Potts sneaked in. Gonna have to rematch. Oh, rewatch. All right. Poolee Ackerman asks, I remember my cousin who served from 92 to 97. His boot camp video showed them with rolled up trouser cuffs. What's that about? So, great question. That is a great question. In first phase, when you first get your uniforms, you don't blouse them is what it's called. So in first phase, all of first phase typically, because your trousers are long, they're a little longer than you need them, and that's for different reasons. That's for life-saving reasons. Take your trousers off, you can tie the bottom off, you can use it as flotation devices. They're purposely made a little longer than you need. So when you wear them, you have to cuff them once or twice before you blouse them. That's a good fitting pair of camis right there. 2 flips, 3, depending on how your size and the size of your camis, but you should at least have to roll it at least one time or cuff it. And then you blouse them. So first phase recruits don't get to blouse their trousers. Randall mentioned it. That's a day that moving into second phase. I'm going to be a Marine soon. The day you get to blouse your trousers feels good. It really does. As simple as that is and as small as that is, that's huge as a recruit. And here's how you know it is, because then you're in second phase, right? And everybody on the depot can recognize, oh, look at them. Trousers, blouse, second phase recruits or third phase, but there's some senior recruits. Also, the button on your blouse, it's all the way buttoned. You look like a fool with your blouse button all the way up and your trousers unbloused. So when you become second phase, boom. Now it's a collar. Now it's starting to look like a uniform. Blouse your trousers. It's a great tool for the drill instructors to use for discipline, right? You're doing something, you're getting crazy, the barracks is trashed, you're not sounding off at PT or something. Oh, good. You want to act like first phase recruits? Unblouse them. Actually unblouse your trousers, button your top button. Now you look like a first phase recruit again. Get it together. It's a good motivation tool. It's a good tool to keep everyone in check. So it is a big deal. It absolutely is. So that's all that's about. Nothing crazy. All right. Yes, carry on, Marie Potts. Watch it later. Good to see each and every one of you. I can't wait till see you next Sunday. Wednesday, members only. Consider becoming a member, staying a member. Can't wait for that new badge to come out. Semper Fi, my friends. Be safe, be aggressive. Hoorah.